And newly crowned badminton world champion Loh Kean Yew sets his sights on competition targets for next year. Our Singapore National Olympic Council President Tan Chuan Jin posted this on Facebook. A video of Loh's winning shot accompanied by the hashtag Please Ignore Hysterical Family. Foreign Affairs Minister Vivian Balakrishnan said he was awed by Loh's success. He also quoted the shuttler's earlier remarks on becoming a Singaporean, serving national service and his pride at wearing the flag. Congratulatory messages extended into the entertainment space as well. Singaporean singer J.J. Lin with a recording of Loh's podium ceremony, adding that he's very proud of Singapore's first badminton world champion. And for more insights on the badminton training landscape in Singapore, we're joined by Alan Au, CEO of the Singapore Badminton Association. Mr. Au, a huge win there for Loh Kean Yew and also for the association, given that the mission statement of your association is to promote and develop badminton.
Yeah, hi, good evening. I think we are all still buzzing with the win of Kean Yew. First thing first is really credit to the players himself. He has put in a lot of hard work and a lot of effort as well, not forgetting the contribution of the coaches, players and parents alike. Like what you correctly point out in terms of our mission statement, I think the association also aimed to provide a platform to support our athletes and to ensure that they are constantly given an opportunity to be on the podium, which I think Kean Yew has done so well for us. So it's not so much of an individual reward or award, but it's a lot of teamwork and a lot of people behind the scene that is making it happening.
Well, Kean Yew did a great deal of work to get to this point. So much training has gone into this success. He was in Dubai, of course, for 1 month, training with some of the greats. Tell us what goes into the kind of schedule he must undertake to produce a win like this.
Well, I would say it's actually pretty hectic for high athletes like Kean Yew. He hardly get a day off, I would say. He spent most of his time training, and of course, in between matches, especially with the current pandemic situation, it makes it very, very tough for the association to kind of arrange overseas training for Kean Yew. So what we did really was to make sure that in between tournaments, there will be a proper lead up in overseas training for Kean Yew. And the training in Dubai with Victor and the rest of the top players has actually done him a world of good. So, that's just the overseas training. I think locally, like I mentioned previously, it's very important for him to consistently have good sparring partners, to have some of the national team players as well, helping him to succeed and vice versa. A lot is actually dependent on discipline, which Kean Yew has plenty. Having the trust and having the communication between players and coaches does help as well. I think that can be clearly seen on court, the level of communication Kean Yew has with the coaching team.
Mr. Loh is only 24 years old, and earlier we heard from the technical director of your association who said he is a marked man, because an ironic comment on essentially success often being a double-edged sword. So given that he's so young, what plans are there to ensure that he is able to continue developing as a player, to mature into a more well-rounded, maybe more consistent player, so that this success is not one-off?
I think Kean Yew, and together with the coaching team and the technical director, they are well aware that now with his recent rise and recent win, a lot of international players is going to take a lot more notice in terms of his play. So it's important for him to continue to develop and have a wider repertoire of weapons in order to vary his game so that he's not as predictable. I think Kean Yew, over the past couple of months, we have also seen in terms of his development, where speed is concerned, where reading of the game is concerned, and adaptability. He's well aware, and the coaches here, we are aware that moving forward, things is going to get tougher, harder. The crux really is to stay injury-free, and at the same time, mapping out the actual plan or correct plan for him. So he'll be going to Dubai after this to continue his training with Victor for a short stint before participating in the India Open. He's going to return somewhere in late January before he then fly off to for the All England in March. And of course, the association will still be looking out for opportunity for him for additional training. This is to ensure that he continue to be sparring with players of top quality. I think it's like what you mentioned, is a double-edged sword. And with his success, we also want to make sure that Kean Yew does contribute to some of the younger players. He serves as an inspiration to a lot of the younger players now. And with him consistently training back here in Singapore, it does help with the next generation of players moving forward.
Mr. Au, you mentioned he's going overseas again to do more training with Olympic greats like Victor. But how can Singapore produce more Loh Kean Yews? I mean, what are the key challenges that the ecosystem for badminton faces here?
I think, like what you correctly pointed out, in terms of having an ecosystem, that's probably the most important thing. Creating an ecosystem, I think we are very fortunate here in Singapore, where badminton is actually the most popular racket game here. So we do actually have a wide base of talent pool. The crux really is to have program that we continue to engage the young kids. So we do have Badminton Academy. This is actually to help them to build up a strong foundation moving forward. And once the kids have got that particular interest in badminton and they are ready to commit with the desire to reach a higher stage for their badminton career, we are going to actually end up having a regional training center that is at various parts of Singapore. That will ensure a more dedicated program where kids will be able to practice on a more frequent basis with a carefully curated program.
Mr. Au, thank you.
And,
Alan Au, the CEO of the Singapore Badminton Association.